Hey, Pure Faith from Pure Love Relationships Department here, or division, whatever we want to call it. Um, so I had a whole list of topics that I was going to talk about. Um, well, not all right now. I could, but that would be a really long video. We'd be on here for like an hour and a half, which, hey, plenty of people do hour and a half long videos. And if that's something you want, we will have it. Maybe not on YouTube, but maybe in the future. Because, in an hour and a half, you can really dig into a lot. But today, I just wanted to focus on one of those titles out of the 8. And then, yeah, I didn't get a curtain up in my window there, but I lowered it down, so we just see a little tiny gleam up there, but it should be fine. And I feel so stuffy with this top on. Like I want to just unbutton it and show more of my bra, but I feel like an office worker. But that's okay, because hey, those girls that dress all officey are something totally different in the bedroom. And yeah, I'm going to say stuff like that, and I'm just going to throw it out there because we do talk about relationship, love, and sex on this channel. And our programs are around all those topics. So I mentioned last week that we are working on a program that's going to be diving deeper into emotions. So all of these videos that I'm making on YouTube are talking about emotions, and they're emotions that we've felt or things that have been said to us. And honestly, this is my way of healing. Yes, I'm a relationship coach, and I have relationship coaches. So you can't step up and be something that you're not if you are not doing what you say you're doing. So I know how important it is. And in the past, never had a relationship coach, never needed one, wasn't in a relationship that needed an outside view or so much, I don't know, research. Or I wasn't in a place where I had people coming to me, talking to me, friends, female friends coming and talking to me, trying to get my opinion. So in the past couple years, sorry, I have hair. The past couple years, it's just been a lot of relationship conversations. Like that's pretty much all I have, even with my children. So it's interesting how life changes. So today I wanted to talk about the title of this video. I'm sure it's going to be the title. And that is, don't expect a girl to stick around if you're going to tell her, I will be with anybody I want. So if you have a good woman by your side, and yeah, maybe she's a little wild, but she's saving that wildness for you. And meanwhile, you're out thinking that you can just be a playboy and be with whoever you want, and she's being loyal and committed to you. That's not right. That's not right. And nothing will ever happen in that connection. Just a lot of hurt and pain and separation. And whether it's a solidified connection or not, whether either of the people, most likely the girls want a commitment because that's how girls are. Girls want stability. Unless we are a very masculine, grounded female that is willing to go out and work really hard and gain our own stability, a lot of women look to a man for stability and protection. And if that guy is seeing you and he's seeing a whole bunch of other people and he's sharing that sacred energy with a bunch of different people, now that energy is all split. And if he gets mad at you, then he goes and he sees another girl, and now he's sharing that energy with her. And not only is he sharing that energy with her, he's sharing his time with her. And then he's saying, like, oh, I can do this for you and I can do that for you. And whatever girl he's sharing that connection with, he's doing stuff outside of the bedroom with her too. And so, uh, oh, I just find it to be really, really damaging to any connection on this planet to, in secret, in the bedroom, share one thing, and then outside of the bedroom the next day to deny that there's anything there, to deny that there's anything with other female friends, and then specifically to say in a mean voice, you're not going to tell me who I can fuck. I'll fuck whoever I want. You want to shut down a female, you want to shut down her emotions, that is the quickest way to do it. You know, a good playboy even knows not to say those words. But hey, we don't want any playboys in our life because we are divine feminines and we're looking for a quality partner, one that has is not afraid of commitment, one that is by your side every day, working on growing their financial assets, one that is not only committed to you in the bedroom, but also committed to you outside of the bedroom and working on those projects. And when you are in a connection with somebody and you do not have that stability and you have to always constantly be wondering, like, oh, well, he didn't show up today. He didn't call me today. We were supposed to work on this project. Wonder who he's with today. Wonder who he's helping today. Wonder who he's fucking today. There's no grounding in that connection. So I just think it's a really important topic, and I had never experienced this. I did experience this. These are words that come from my life, and I had never experienced this before in my life, only with one person, and it was just heartbreaking when those words came out. And it was a long time ago. Like, it was months and months ago. It was like we were probably seeing each other for a couple months again, and he will deny that he was seeing me at all, but you know, there's gas receipts, there's my children that know when I was gone, that usually know where I am. You know, there's like all kinds of proof in the 3D and money exchange, and you know, you can literally look and see what restaurant, which fast food joint on my statements was bought at what point in town, what location in town, which is only on his side. So, you know, I don't need to prove to anybody that I was with him. He knows the truth. He knows when we were hanging out. He knows when we weren't hanging out. He knows, you know, only in words does he want to deny that, and that's fine. And it's really kind of a separate topic, but not really. You know, some of this stuff all gets mixed together. But I remember I was not in this position that I am now. Sometimes we can grow really fast. Sometimes when we just take time to ourselves, to come back to ourselves, to return to ourselves. Maybe in your situation, you're trying to find yourself, but maybe you just know who you are. And I know that this is who I was. I was showing up on camera 14, 15 years ago, talking. It was a little bit different. I was actually sewing and stuff, but even 4 years ago, I was showing up like this in business wardrobe, in hats, teaching business. So I know who I am. And just because he didn't see that side of me doesn't mean this is not who I am. This is exactly who I am. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to show up so comfortably like this. So what I'm saying is, he really only saw 10% of me. And that was like the whore slut that he wanted to see, that he wanted me to be. And yes, I'm totally fine with being that 10% of the time. We have a character that's we don't have a whore or a slut in our kingdom, but our nightclub owner does hold on to some of that energy. She originally was the call girl slut that turned into the nightclub owner. And so she has a very strong personality, and she's very rough around the edges, and she's very straightforward, more so than I am. I'm like 90% female or 90% masculine energy. She's like 100%. Like, don't fuck with her. And don't fuck with Katrina Marie, the one that wears the ball cap. Nah, she's even worse. She goes over the top. She's like 110%. She could be 200%. She's so protective. And so it's kind of nice that we have these different characters in our kingdom that allow tap into different levels of feminine and masculine energy. I watch back our videos and I'm just like, very interesting. That girl, like, pure passion. Wow, she is so feminine and so soft and just like, yes, sir, anything you want. And that was kind of the energy that she was in around him. And so, words like that could come out. And she didn't say anything at the time, but, because she's very much of an observer. And okay, I'm going to observe this man's actions and his words. And I'm going to choose to not share my body with him anymore because he does not respect me. If I'm making an unsaid commitment to him, whether he believes it or not. If I was to tell him, he wouldn't believe me. So I chose to not tell him, look, I'm only with you. And so I chose not to say that. And so instead of being with other people and having and experiencing a good, frequent sex life 3 times a week, like I was previously with an ex-boyfriend, it was once a month, like in the beginning when I saw him, it was a little bit more often. But it, very quickly faded away because nobody wants to be in that kind of connection. And I know he agrees with that too, because some of the last messages I got from him were him accidentally sending a message to another female, his new girlfriend, which he wouldn't give her a title because he's non-committal. But the new person that he was sharing sacred sexual energy with, I remember him saying something about be loyal. Okay, so now he's already got another girl in his life that wasn't being loyal. I was being loyal. I might have been doing sexy photo shoots and stuff, but I was being loyal. And so, like, I was like not even going to get into a conversation about that with him because I was like, you motherfucker, you don't know what loyalty is. Don't talk to me. I was next to a man for 20 years. I know what loyalty is. I've been in a relationship watching somebody die and been, faithful to my husband for 3 years with no sex. So I understand what loyalty is. So, I know that you are not a loyal man because you already said to me, I'll fuck anybody I want. So, I think, we do have to be an observer. We do have to see what people say to us. And when they say something like that and it hurts your heart and soul and you pull away, that's why I'm making these videos, because these are things that hurt me. And I know this is just a 3D existence, but hey, I'm teaching relationships. And so these are conversations that we have to have. And there are things that men say to us that hurt us. And that is one. If you say that to anybody, if I was to say that to him, you're not going to tell me who I could fuck. I'm going to fuck anybody I want. Then he would have chosen to not be with me as well. And we weren't together very often. Like, we really could have shared so much more intimacy, so much more fun time, so much more pleasure in the bedroom. And because of the words said in conversations outside of the bedroom, it never went there. So I think it was sad because, there could have been a lot more happiness. And, whether you're with that person for life or not, you can still choose to be only with them during that time. If you're like hanging out, then be with that person for 5 months. My previous boyfriend before him, we had a committed sexual relationship for 5 months. I was only with him. He was only with me. There was nobody else in our lives. We were side by side. He was living with me. He lived with me before that for 5 months. He lived with me after that for 5 months as well. But the first 5 months was, like kind of like a little here and there. And then I was just like, we either need to quit doing this altogether or we need to commit to each other. And I'm not comfortable with you seeing, your younger girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. So he made that commitment to me and he was only 23. And he's like, okay, well, I love you, babe. And yeah, sure. I'll commit to only sharing my sacral sexual energy. He didn't say those words. I'll commit to only having sex with you. Like, we can have sex every day. Absolutely. And it's health reasons too. Like, you don't want to be sharing that with everybody. Like, that's when, it's like, I got this. Well, who did I get it from? STDs. Like, I don't want that in my life. I'm in check with my body. I know, and I want to know who my partner is with, and I'm not willing to die of AIDS. I don't want to die of AIDS. I don't want to get stuff. These are conversations that we have to have with our partner. And when we're older, yeah, there might be some things that we could pass or that we would have to manage, but all those conversations have to be had ahead of time. But not even talking about STDs or sexually transmitted diseases, there's also spiritually transmitted diseases, and those are so much harder to get rid of when you take on somebody else's really low vibrational views of sex, where they just want to have a bunch of women and they don't give a fuck about how you feel and your emotions. You're going to cut your emotions off. You're going to cut your energy and motion off towards that person. You're going to stop giving your body to that person. You're going to stop giving your time to that person, and you're going to stop giving your resources to that person. And you're really not going to want them in your life. And that's what happened to me. And I love him. I could say I loved him. I showed more love, that I had more energy and motion towards him. Back, 6, 9 months ago, 8, 9, 10 months ago. But that slowly just went down and down and down. And I retracted all that energy and brought it back to me, and nobody's allowed to touch me. And I got very closed off. I got closed off to other men too. So, one of our other girls is going to be showing up. She might have already actually shown up before this video. Sometimes we get our videos mixed around, but she's going to be talking about, you could check her out. She is Pure Bliss, our business person, business girl, showed up to talk about some stuff about how a woman closes off her heart, and focuses on building a castle and a business. The business is the castle, when she's been hurt too much. So you might want to check that one out, because I'm sure she's going to have some really good stuff to say. So this video is a little bit long, but I wanted to really talk about it, because this is something that has created emotional blockages in me. I haven't actually told anybody that he said that, but I've been carrying it for almost 9 months. And I cannot talk to him about it. We're not in communication in the 3D world. And he doesn't always remember what he says. He doesn't, I have a list of the things that he's said to me, because my relationship coach told me, male relationship coach, I have a female relationship coach too. They're a couple. And eventually I would love to have that in our kingdom. I will have a partner by my side. I don't stay single very long. I've always had a partner by my side since I was like 12 years old. My very first boyfriend that I didn't do anything with. And then the 14-year-old, when I was 14, I had a boyfriend that was like a little bit older than me. So I attract men very easily into my life. And right now I'm being very closed off. I'm very protective. I don't go out into public like this, because when I do, anytime I go out, no matter what kind of wig, I get a lot of attention. Makeup and a wig and a cute dress, or any kind of cute clothing, lots of attention from men. And I just don't feel like making eye contact with people. Women can go through this. I don't know if men necessarily go through it. I would have to have conversations, but men get closed off too. And so I have a blockage around my emotions, and I'm working very hard about it. And so just talking with, my 2 relationship coaches, I talk to them about my emotions, because they have the credentials to help. They have the psychological degrees. They have marriage counseling degrees. They have like experience with all the topics that I want to talk about at a higher level. So I'm not going to like talk to my 23-year-old son about a relationship, like I'm going to talk to people, and I'm not going to just talk to a guy that I'm dating about a relationship unless it's between me and him. What do we want for our future? Hey, what do you see? So we will be talking more about that because it's very important to have those conversations ahead of time before you're sharing your sexual energy, because once you do that, it just everything gets intertwined, and if it's toxic, then it's very, very damaging to a woman, and to a man too. Any toxic connection is very damaging, and it can destroy you, and it can literally break your heart and give you a heart attack. And because of the addictions that you're doing or whatever, it can really lead down a bad road. Our heart is our most powerful organ in our body. It literally is the engine for our entire body. And it's very connected to the divine and universal unconditional love energy. And when that is blocked, when you block it to keep one person out of your life, you can tend to block everybody out of your life. And so that's a very hard balance. And all because of words, all because somebody said words to you that made you feel lesser than who you were, and did not respect you, and to share that energy with everybody else and still expect it from that girl. Or maybe at that moment you're like, I don't want to be with you at all. I'll be with anybody I want. Well, then don't call me for money. Don't call me when you're stranded at the side of the road. Like, don't call me for toes. You're not allowed any of my energy, basically. And I teach that, because you have to stand up for yourself. You have to protect yourself. And when you're in these toxic relationships, it doesn't matter how much you love the person. If they do not return the same love back to you, and they do not, if you are only sharing your sexual energy and resources and time with that man, maybe you're not, maybe you're sharing your time with some other people, but if you're only sharing that sexual energy with that man and they're not returning that, it's not an even balanced relationship. So it's not on the plate. It's not on the table. It's like it has to go out. It has to, like, whatever, you have to cut it off. And I strongly believe this. And let something better into your life. And maybe that person, evolves, changes their views, gets over past their ego, gets over their porn addiction and lust for a bigger ass or whatever, bigger tits or whatever. Maybe they see past the physical body, and they see through to who people really are. And maybe they come around, maybe they don't, and that's okay. We're okay with either. Okay, we're all about calling in the right energy into our life. And if you want a committed man by your side or a committed woman by your side, you have to embody that energy first. So if you're writing stuff, like, be loyal, well, and that girl's already not being loyal, it's because you are not loyal. And you could lie about it all you want, and you could say, no, I'm loyal, I'm not with any other girls. Well, I'm sorry, any woman knows when a man has been with another girl. You can't hide it. So you can't lie to a divine feminine. And even if she's not divine and sitting on her throne with her crown, whether you had seen it or not, you still can't lie to a woman. Women always know. We're in touch with our intuition. Men have to practice that and learn that. And women we operate in these top 3 chakras. We talk and we speak, and we see with our third eye, and we create life. We bring life into this world. We actually have the divine connection. Women, when they tap into their power, are very, very powerful, and they can accomplish a lot more than a man. And I'm not downing on men at all. I love men. I love intimacy. I love sex. And it's hard not having sex and not having a partner, but I also know who I am, and I know that I'm not sharing that connection unless I'm in a committed relationship. And I know that if I stay strong to that, that's what I'll call into my life. And if that's what you want, then keep following me. We're going to keep having these discussions, and you'll be able to dive deeper into calling in that relationship, exactly what you want in your life. You have to be very intentional. And we're going to be writing, we're going to be doing assignments, and I'll be leading you one step at a time through this, because I know that we struggle sometimes to do it on our own. And we don't always, how many of us actually open the book? How many of us actually do the things that we think that we're going to do? So having a coach by your side to help you with this could really change your life. And the money that you invest for those further steps could call in a really abundant, committed, loyal relationship, something that you've always dreamed about having. It doesn't matter whether you've had toxic people. It doesn't matter whether you had an asshole husband for 20 years. It doesn't matter if you had playboys in your life. I didn't have that. I've only experienced it in the past 3 years. That's why it was such a shock for me, and it brought me so far down. But I am stable, and I know, and I've returned to who I am. And I always had great boyfriends. I've never had a boyfriend ever cheat on me. So for 30 years, I had committed, loyal boyfriends by my side, boyfriends, fiancés, husbands, all of them. I'm a relationship girl, and that's what I attract. And I was in a lower vibration energy because I lost my husband, and I was lonely. And so, I was depressed, sad, and lonely. And I ended up hanging out with men. I don't hang out with any men. I don't go anywhere now. I work on creating this content for the people I'm here to help in this world. And I spend time with my kids and my family, my parents, my brothers. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this. As soon as a man says to you, I'll fuck anybody I want, cut him off. End of story. You can decide what to do after that, but the sex needs to go away if he can't make a commitment to you. If he can't, and I'm not talking like a commitment, he doesn't have to put a ring on your finger, but there should be some kind of conversations about how you're really coming together in a real committed relationship. But the first step is to make a commitment to somebody in the bedroom and commit to only sharing your sexual energy with them. And along with that is a commitment of, hey, if we get in a fight, we're going to talk about this. Rather than running off to another girl and sharing your wand with somebody else, we're going to talk about this. So if I said something to hurt you, I'm sorry. And please stick around so we can discuss it and talk about it, because I don't want you going home. I don't want you leaving mad and upset and holding on to these words for 9 months, because that ultimately hurts both people. If there is any kind of mutually felt feelings. So anyway, this was my longest video ever, probably because I talked a little bit slower. It's something that we need to start talking about. All right. Thank you for watching. I love you.